welcome to our project. I'm Tegan.
I'm Anna.
I'm Aubrey.
I'm Noah.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're Light
Light
It
It
Up.
Our project starts on panel 1 where we discuss the initial problem. Every solution begins with a problem, and our problem begins on Upper Pike Creek Road in Newark, Delaware. The road began as a dark, windy, twisted road that stretches 2.6 miles between the trees. As it's dark and unlit, this can cause many problems for drivers that have to drive through the road at night. The scope of the problem can be shown as the population having 7,000 people as of 2000 in the Pike Creek area. The duration of this problem can be seen as the road was built in 1923 and has only been refinished in 2003. The intensity can be shown through this pie chart, and the road has a traffic count of 1,343.
To continue, panel 2 talks about the alternative policies, reflectors, reflective signs, and street lamps. Reflectors are small trapezoids placed on guardrails or trees, and this would benefit Upper Pike Creek because it costs as little as $300 for 50 of them, and would cost no money to run them. However, they can affect the driver's eyesight at night. The other alternative was street lamps. They are tall poles with lights on top of them. This provides a lot of light at night, but would cost a lot of money, around $2,000 and $3,000 per lamp, and you would need a large quantity of them. The last alternative policy would be the reflective signs. They have a reflective material to them and look like stop signs. They would provide a lot of light at night and would reflect back on the road, creating a lot of light to be able for the drivers to be safe. But they would cost around $200 per sign. Next, Noah will be talking about panel 3.
Panel 3, we chose to use our reflectors. They have many advantages and disadvantages. An advantage is that they're relatively cheap per unit, and they also have no cost to run as the street lamps do. They're also good for the aesthetic of the road because they don't shine all night, they only shine when your car's driving by. A disadvantage is that they could have some light reflecting back into the driver's eyes, but it's very minimal chance of causing any harm, and they could also, some people living on the road may not like them. Our policy was constitutional, and we worked in both the public and the private sphere. It's a public road that anybody in the state can drive on, and we worked with the private sphere as Collison's Incorporation, a company that works with traffic equipment, actually put up the reflectors for Delaware Department of Transportation. In addition to placing reflectors on the road, we noticed that when they were put on, they were getting knocked off by cars. Since the road is so windy and narrow, cars were getting too close to reflectors and knocking them off the guardrail. So we spoke to the DelDOT officials and asked them if we could put it on the top of the guardrail where they'd be safer from cars and last longer, being more effective for the citizens. And they put them up there, and we found out that it was a new design and it worked very well.
Finally, for this panel, we started out by sending an email to the reasonable representatives. We set up an email to voice our concerns. At first, they didn't fully understand what we meant, but once we cleared it up, they agreed. That was a very good idea. We told them that our plans were about implementing reflectors instead of street lamps, and they were on board. We then had a meeting with DelDOT employees John Garcia and Sonia LaGrange and discussed our plans in person. Before we knew it, we had been informed that the reflectors were already put in place. The reflectors were a very good idea, not only because they were quick to implement, but also because it was very cost efficient. We saw that implementing reflectors would be a much cheaper option compared to street lamps. When talking with our representatives, they thanked us for adding safety to a road that they drive on frequently. Representative Baumbach said that he was impressed with our idea and its efficiency in using reflectors rather than another alternative. We were surprised at how fast the reflectors were put in place, but we are very happy with how it turned out.
Reflecting on our project, we are very proud of all the work that we have done throughout this year. However, we can all collectively agree that we are most proud of being able to get this far in our project and help people in our local community. Having the ability to make people's lives easier and safer has been our goal since the start, and we are happy that we were able to provide our school with such an accomplishment. We want to continue to make progress on our project along with making sure that our local road, Upper Pike Creek Road, is up to date on all safety measures. From Project Citizen, we learned how to communicate in our group and how we as young students can make a huge difference in our community. Thank you all so much for your time and consideration with our project.